baseball fans. I'm Ken O'Neill.
And I'm Brandon Ross.
And this is CSBN, the Collegiate Summer Baseball Network. And Brandon, the season is winding down, and many leagues have completed their regular season, and all but a few are scheduled to finish by the end of this week.
That's right, Ken, and the top 6 teams in our penultimate top 25 list remain the same, but the order has certainly changed around a bit. The Falmouth Commodores have captured first place, leaping up from third, and that relegates the Chatham Anglers and YD Red Sox back to second and third place, respectively. Going back to the bottom of the list, you got the Orleans Firebirds and Wareham Gatemen swapping 4th and 5th place, and the Katuitt Kettleers staying put at 6th.
Again this week, there were no newbies, only teams rejoining the list. The New England League's Upper Valley Nighthawks and Newport Gulls, together with the Coastal Plain League's Gastonia Grizzlies, all climbed back into the top of the rankings. 10 teams have moved up in the rankings, from 19th to 16th with the Waynesboro Generals of the Valley Baseball League, from 21st to 19th with the North Adams Steeplecats of the New England League, the Bourne Braves from 24th to 24th to 21st from the Cape Cod League. We have the Falmouth Commodores going from 3rd to 1st from the Cape Cod League. The Harwich Mariners went from 11th to 9th in the Cape Cod League. The Morehead City Marlins of the Coastal Plain League went from 13th to 11th. The Traverse City Pitspitters of the North Woods League went from 21st to 19th. The Wareham Gatemen from the Cape Cod League went from 5th to 4th. The Brewster Whitecaps of the Cape Cod League went from 14th to 13th, and the Savannah Bananas of the Coastal Plain League went from 18th to 17th.
This week, only 4 leagues have multiple representatives in the top 25. Cape's still leading the way with 9 of their 10 teams in that rankings, while the Coastal Plain and New England leagues have 4 each. The California Collegiate League has 2, and beyond that, the Alaska League, Cal Ripken League, Florida Collegiate League, along with the Northwoods, Valley, and West Coast leagues, each have just 1 representative apiece.
One of the oldest traditions in collegiate summer baseball continues this week as the 85th edition of the NBC World Series has begun at Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita, Kansas. For the past 84 years, the event, sponsored by the National Baseball Congress, has spawned major league players. Over 800 big leaguers have played in the now 30-team double elimination tournament, including Satchel Paige, Mark McGwire, Joe Carter, Roger Clemens, Ozzie Smith, Albert Pujols, Tim Lincecum, and Heath Bell.
That's quite a history. Many prestigious leagues still send teams to play in the NBC World Series, and that includes CSBR top 10 leagues, Alaska and California Collegiate Leagues. In addition, the Centex, Houston, Kansas, Mile High, and Southern California Collegiate Baseball Leagues, as well as the Ohio Valley, Pacific International, Sunflower, and Rocky Mountain Leagues are sending teams this year. The Western Baseball Association, along with a few independents, will also participate, and the 2019 champ is set to be crowned in August.
CSBN, the Collegiate Summer Baseball Network. And Brandon, the season is winding down and many playoffs are underway. Only one more week and the final top 25 RPI rankings will be determined. Remember, the RPI method of ranking places greater value on winning in more competitive leagues than it does for weaker leagues. In other words, winning a very high percentage of games in less competitive leagues will not make the top 25.
That's right, Ken, which is why you see 9 of the 10 Cape Cod League teams on this list. Only the Hyannis Hawks failed to make it with only 7 wins in their 42 games so far this season. So let's now take a look and hopscotch around the leagues. Ken, what happened last week in the Northeast?
The Cape will wrap up the season on Thursday and start playoffs the next day. The top 4 teams in the CSBR RPI rankings will vie for the 2019 Cape League Championship. The Falmouth Commodores, the CSBR top team, and the Wareham Gatemen, number 4, will battle to see who plays the winner of the Beasts of the East, the Chatham Anglers, who were finished 2nd, and the YD Red Sox, who are 3rd. Looks like the RPI was on the money there. That may not be the story of the PGCBL, as the dark horse Adirondack Trailblazers have qualified for the playoffs for the first time in team history. Adirondack has 3 of the top 7 leading hitters, including the leading freshman Kevin Farrar from UConn. The Pawcatuck, Connecticut native, batted .385 for the season. The Blazers also had 2 of the league's top 56 hurlers. Had it not been for a slow 1-9 start, Adirondack might have challenged for the West Division title. Congrats to founder Bobby Miller and the Blazers. The New England League will finish the regular season on Friday and then begin their 3-round playoffs. The number 2 and number 3 seeds in each division play a one-game wild card, and the winners play the number 1 seeds in the best-of-3 series. The league championship is also a best-of-3. In the Southern Division, the Marthard Vineyard Sharks have made the playoffs in their first year in the league. The Sharks also have the best record in the league, and the Newport Gulls are in, and the Mystic Schooners have the edge for the 3rd spot. The Northern Division is a dogfight with 5 teams fighting for the top spot. They are Keene Swamp Bats, the North Adams Steeple Cats, the Upper Valley Nighthawks, the Valley Blue Sox, and the Vermont Mountaineers. Out on Long Island, the River Tomcats bested the Sag Harbor Whalers in a 3rd game, a 6-4 tiebreaker, to move on to face the West Hampton Aviators in the championship series. The Aviators breezed into the finals, sweeping the Southampton Breakers, and then took Game 1 from the Tomcats 10-4. The Niagara Power took home the 2019 NYCBL Championship, sweeping the Cortland Crush. The Power scored a total of 22 runs in 2 games on their way to their first championship since 1993. The Futures League made a statement about the popularity of baseball in New England as the Worcester Bravehearts set an all-new single-game attendance record at Fitton Field. 5,554 fans filled the stands to cheer for the Bravehearts. Only the last-place Westfield Starfires will end on Sunday with the end of the regular season. The playoffs will feature 6 teams in a 3-round format. Now over to Brandon for coverage of the Mid-Atlantic and Southeast regions.
Thanks, Ken. The Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts could be on track for an upset in the Cal Ripken League. Queens University of Charlotte junior Nicholas Charleston shut out the Bethesda Big Train for 7 innings, giving up only 2 hits. High Point's Brady Pierre pitched a scoreless 8th inning, and Braden Kale of Cal U, Pennsylvania, struck out the side to end the ballgame. Game 2 of the 3-game series is set for tonight. The Valley League mourned the passing of Mo Weber at age 96. He was a 19-year veteran of the Valley League's Newmarket Rebels. Coach Weber's number 1 jersey is retired by the Rebels, and he was a 2017 Valley League Hall of Fame inductee. The League's Coach of the Year award is named after him. The playoffs are set in the Valley League with the Strasburg Express hosting the Winchester Royals, the Woodstock River Bandits hosting the Newmarket Rebels, the Waynesboro Generals hosting the Staunton Braves, and the Covington Lumberjacks heading on the road to take on the Charlottesville Tom Sox. The Coastal Plain League's Pettit Cup divisional round begins on Sunday with 4 division semifinals pitting first and second half champions in 1-game eliminations. 1-game CPL divisional finals set the stage for the 3-game Pettit Cup series to be held on August 8th and 9th and the 10th if necessary. Competition is steep and there are too many possible combinations still remaining to mention. So let's now go back to Ken for the Midwest region.
The Lima Locos of the 2019 Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League champions. The Locos defeated the Licking County Settlers 5-3 in the last game of the 3-game championship series. The Locos scored 4 runs in the 4th inning on 4 singles, a stolen base, a walk, and a hit batter. Jared Ryan of Kennesaw State and Jacob Pennington of Murray State combined to scatter 8 hits and allow only 2 earned runs on homers by Settlers Cal Baker of Ole Miss and Andrew Eng of Binghamton University. In the Northwoods League, the Traverse City Pittsbitters have taken command of the Great Lakes East Division, opening up a 6-game gap over the Kalamazoo Growlers. The Spitters are tied for 19th in our RPI rankings. The horse race got even tighter in the Great Lakes West, with only 4 games separating all 6 teams. The Wisconsin Rapid Rafters are currently in front with a 3-game lead over the Lakeshore Chinooks, Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, and Green Bay Booyah. In the Great Plains East, the La Crosse Loggers are tied for first with the Duluth Huskies, and the Eau Claire Express only 1 game back. The St. Cloud Rocks lead the Rochester Honkers by 4.5 in the Great Plains West. The Expedition League is another league that splits the season into halves. The Western Nebraska Pioneers won the first half of the Clark Division, and the Badlands Big Sticks won the Lewis. It looks like the same result in the second half. That means that the Fremont Moo and the Pierre Trappers would back into the playoff spots. And here's Brandon to wrap up the coverage of the Pacific West.
Thanks, Ken. Before we get there, what a note for the Traverse City Pittsbitters. Just their first year playing, already making an impact on the top 25. Starting in the West Coast League, their playoffs don't start for another week. The divisional series will run from August 13th to 15th, and the championship series from the 17th to the 20th. The favorites have to be the first half winners, the Corvallis 9th, ranked 12th in the RPI, and Victoria Harbor Cats, who are leading the second half as well. However, I'm sure the Wenatchee Apple Sox will have something to say about that before all is said and done. Out in the California League, after splitting the first 2 games of a 3-game set, the Santa Barbara Foresters have taken down the Healdsburg Prune Packers 6-1 in the deciding game of the league championship at Santa Barbara's Sparky Anderson Field. Cal Berkeley's John Lagatuta's leadoff solo home run in the second inning gave the Prune Packers a brief lead. However, the bottom of the third saw Russ Cadena of Wichita State drive in Ryan Cash of Oral Roberts, and with the tying run, and then Christian Franklin out of Arkansas blasted a 2-run shot to give the Foresters a 3-1 edge. They never looked back. Santa Barbara starter Jake Jackson scattered 6 hits over 5 innings to gain the win in that one. So the Foresters are now on the road to Wichita for the NBC World Series.
Well, that's our show for the week. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. For Brandon Ross, I'm Ken O'Neill.